Good evening, Prescott Valley. Welcome to the October 11th, 2016 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. We'll start off with roll call. Kathy?
Chairperson Frere.
Here.
Commissioner Avalos.
Present.
Commissioner Brinkman.
Here.
Commissioner Trevini.
Here.
Okay, the next item is approval of the agenda. If everybody's had a chance to review the agenda, we do have one minor change. Item 9D will be moved to, let's call it 5C, after the announcement on the corn toss tournament. With that said, I'd like to have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the modification of moving 9D up to make it 5C.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that moves us into the approval of the meeting minutes from September 13th, 2016. If everybody's had a chance to review those minutes, and if there's any changes or modifications, state them now. If not, let's have a motion to approve the minutes from September 13th, 2016 regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from Tuesday, September 13th, 2016.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that passes. Okay, that moves us into announcements. We'll start with item 5A, ice skating season. Mr. Brian Whitty.
Yes, sir. Happy to announce the opening day for our ice skating open skate sessions begins Sunday, October 30th, with our free admission. This is a fun and wonderful opportunity for folks to come out if they've not been skating with us to be introduced. It is an annual program in which to do so. We do that with a free admission. Skate rentals are available if ones would like to do that. Skate sessions that day will be from 2 to 4 p.m. or 4:30 to 6:30. Feel free to join us on either one of those dates. Our open skating over at the Prescott Valley Event Center will be held October through February of 2017. We do provide monthly skate schedules. Those can be found at the PVAZ website under Parks and Recreation and Public Ice Skating. Or on a daily basis, feel free to give us a call at our hotline at 775-3165, as this schedule is subject to change dependent upon the events that are scheduled at the event center. So that would be something that would be highly recommended for those that want to attend in doing so. Last year was a fabulous season for us. We're looking forward to exactly the same. We've updated our inventory with skates availability. We'll soon be going through that inventory, sharpening skates, getting everything tuned up. Staff hiring and orientation is in process right now, as well as that development of those teamwork skills and management oversight for their review. And I'm happy to announce, and he will be in attendance at next month's meeting. Mr. Brady Peck has joined our team, and he is leading this operation this year. So we'll be welcoming him and getting a report from our first opening day at the end of this month. So be able to have that, looking forward to it coming to you. So opening of public ice skating Sunday, October 30th, free admission, skate rentals available, skate session time starting at 2 until 4 and then 4:30 to 6.
And that's always a very popular time of year for the residents of Prescott Valley that like to get out and get a little exercise on the ice. So thank you for the update. Next item is the update on the corn toss tournament.
Yes, as you recall, last month I unfortunately reported our corn toss tournament was being rescheduled. We do have that all in play. It will be on Saturday, November 5th. All other elements remain the same with a $50 per team of 2 round-robin format. We will have men's, co-ed, and women's divisions, so sign up accordingly. We will have cash prizes available. Registration can take place at our website at pvaz.net. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Prescott Valley Parks and Recreation Foundation Scholarship Fund in doing so. We will have costume contests, a beer garden, food vendors, and a separate contest for the longest toss. So we encourage everyone to register on site for those activities. Our games will start at 10 a.m. that morning and will be held right here at the Prescott Valley Civic Center grounds right outside the Civic Center. So again, join us Saturday, November 5th. Registration is first come, first serve. We have a minimum of 22 teams to register. That can be done again at pvaz.net with our online registration system. And please choose from the different divisions of men's, co-ed, and women for this round-robin format with a single elimination tournament following.
And how many teams do we currently have signed up?
Unfortunately, I cannot answer that for you this evening.
All right. Well, let's get out there and support this great event. It's for a great cause, foundation that benefits Parks and Recreation Foundation. Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
Moving on to our 5C item. Let's have a moment about the Summit Trail Awards. Glassford Hill Summit Trail.
Yes, sir. I am very happy to announce that the work that has taken place on Glassford Hill and the construction of Summit Trail has culminated in 2 separate awards that have been bestowed on the town of Prescott Valley. Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce has recognized the town and its achievements with a Community Improvement Award. This award was presented at its annual Chamber of Commerce meeting for 2016. It is a Community Excellence Award for that development of the trail, and that was presented to the commission. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Mr. Avalos that attended or Mr. Brinkman? Mr. Freyer, my apologies. So in attendance for that, I had you wrapped up into our other one.
All right.
So we have that. Then in addition, the Arizona Parks and Recreation Association has chosen the Glassford Hill Summit Trail as its 2016 Natural Resource Award. This was in competition with numerous different communities throughout the state of Arizona, and we were very fortunate to come out on top. Illustrated in that picture here on our slideshow is former chairwoman Michelle Tissot and our current Vice Chair, Commissioner Freyer, accepting that award on behalf of the town during that event. So with that, would appreciate turning the opportunity for review and comments to Commissioner Freyer. And then with that, I would also encourage you all to entertain our guests that are here with us tonight. Not only do we have town staff that went through that development process and helped secure all of the other support amenities, but 2 of the leaders from the Over the Hill gang that were very instrumental in the refinement elements that took place there at Glassford Hill and the Summit Trail program. And so I'd be happy to turn that over. So Commissioner Freyer.
Yeah, and I think I've probably stated this several times before at these events or wrapping up talking about these 2 awards. It's truly a community effort to build something like that, and in the timeline that it took to get it done. It happened very quickly, and I think the community as a whole came together, all the way from the town manager to the Parks and Rec staff, to the volunteer group, the Over the Hill gang, being able to set aside time to make it possible for that to be such a community asset that it is. Using the trail on a semi-regular basis, I know that daily there's hundreds of people that hike up and down it or bike it. It is a true community asset, and trails make for better living. I think it brings focus to our community, and the views up there are second to none. So I appreciate the staff that has put in a lot of time and sweat equity in it, as well as our volunteers, George and Lyle, coordinating and keeping the guys on task and getting that done for the grand opening that was back in May. It's truly a great community asset, and it'll continue to be so. And hopefully it's the start of great things for that type of recreation opportunity in Prescott Valley. Anyone else?
Gentlemen, would you like to join us and reflect in regards to your participation on the event? Introduce yourself to the commission.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm Nick. I'm the park supervisor. I got a couple of our other staff members. Brent Juries, he's one of our maintenance technicians, and Adam Garner, he's our irrigation technician. It really was a great process, all hands on deck type of project, from the community members volunteering to the Over the Hill gang, our staff members. It was great. It's really nice seeing all the use by the community, daily basis, like you had said, and the views are awesome. And it's just a great addition to our trail system and our, our parks and recreation facilities and everything like that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll turn it over to you guys.
Well, we have about 300 volunteers in the Over the Hill gang. Not all of them come out and work. Some of them are injured like me, that they just like to go to our Christmas party and things like that, and breakfasts when we have holidays. But we certainly enjoy working over here and seeing trails. When I lived in Phoenix, we drove up, and the only trail I knew about was in the Forest Service, Trail 307, and since I've been in Prescott, I go, God, I didn't know. I think at the time I was coming up then, they had the Peavine and maybe a couple of trails, but now there's 70 miles of trails, and you guys have got great trails over here and a lot of land, like in Fain Park, that can do so much more. And then when you look at trails from connectivity perspective, what you might be able to do to Lynx Lake and over to the Black Canyon Trail and all that, you're right in the middle of it. And so I like the fact that as a community as a whole, we've really grown to become a regional trails destination for tourists and for families that want to come here, go out their back door. That's what we're trying to do with the trails, is bring the trails closer to where you live so you can go out and walk your dogs and commute to where you might want to go if that works for you, or else the recreational side. So thank you for this award, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Do you have anything else, sir?
Thank you, George. And you guys do amazing work for the whole region, and it's truly an honor to be able to call you and know the quality of work that gets done with you guys' sweat equity.
Up here or up there?
Just right here. Got a photo bomb?
Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
Very, very much. Well,
Thank you.
Guys.
I think they nailed it exactly right. This project has been truly a community project. It has been multiple partners on multiple fronts, be it staff, be it Over the Hill gang, be it Yavapai College, via then the
Boy Scout troop.
Boy Scouts that were part of this project, also then our not-for-profit agency over at the Forest Heritage Center.
Oh, the Highland Center.
Highland Center, there you go. Just all of those different folks coming together in different elements, different processes, making those commitments and going through that process. I think that's ultimately what made this project so special, as well as then also the folks that were gracious enough to bestow that on us with these awards definitely picked up on that fact, and that it is a very significant feature within our community and provides a very unique experience for all to enjoy in doing that. So very excited, very happy. Congratulations to the Commission for their efforts, their vision, their process, both today and from our past, and continuing that vision moving forward. So congratulations.
When we see these type of awards, it kind of pushes it back onto the Commission that we need to continue looking at public lands and connectivity to other trails and continue this effort. when we see how quickly the Summit Trail went up, and this was not an easy trail, and see how popular it really is a message back to us that as we go into 2017, we need to do a little bit more. We've got a good start, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that.
Agreed. Any other comments?
I have one comment about the trail. I'm just curious for myself and for everyone who might be watching tonight. The situation with snakes on the trail. I know that there were a few walkers or riders that encountered them earlier in the year, but now that it's cooling off, has there been any recent activity up there?
Well, unfortunately, speaking from past experience, not necessarily on the Glassford Hill Summit Trail, but this is the time of year. It's cooler at night. Snakes are natural to come out and warm themselves in the sun. So everybody that hikes or bikes on the trails needs to be aware.
Still need to be aware.
And leave the animals alone. They are animals. We're in their environment and have disrupted their environment. So I would hope everybody would respect that and give them wide berth on the trail. Obviously, there's no measures that I don't think the town or anybody can ensure when you have a trail out in the natural open space. The users have to be alert and aware of what the hazards may be. My personal opinion and experience. So.
Good, great, thank you.
And just to add to that, to make sure to bring plenty of water and stay well hydrated on those trails. I've had people go up there and wish they'd probably either brought a drink or maybe a little bit more. I don't think they're fully aware of what it is to reach the top and then even on its way back down. So just a reminder to the public to bring those water bottles.
Absolutely. It is quite a challenge to hike up there, but well worth it once you get there.
Most definitely.
All right, moving on. So we will go to the department update. Director's report, if everybody had a chance to review that. If there's any changes or questions, please bring them forward.
I don't have any changes. I do have a couple of comments and questions for Brian, though.
Okay.
The first one is regarding pickleball. You
Yes,
met
sir.
with Dan Kartachuk?
Karchek? Yes.
Karchek. And just for the sake of, there's a lot of folks in town here that like to play pickleball. I know it's picking up. Anything specific come out of that meeting?
That particular meeting was a review of the tournament that he conducted as a matter of the Northern Arizona Senior Pickleball Association over at the Event Center. Basically, he was sold out as far as participant rates or near capacity for that. So it was very well attended, great feedback from that. We had some review in regards to those numbers, where those numbers resided, where the fair majority of them coming from out of town and a few coming from out of state as well to participate. So we're very happy and excited about that with the overnight stays and visits to our local service industries. So it was, again, a very positive experience on all matters.
Great. That sounds good, Brian. So that's a great opportunity for future activity or tournaments up here then.
Very much so, especially in July, because most folks really don't want to go out and use a pickleball court in the valley. So.
Right. And the other question I had was, can you give us an update on your meeting with Brad Clifford, Yavapai College Athletic Director, regarding a bid for a National Junior College Athletic Association Men's Soccer National Championship?
Yes, if you'll recall, a couple of years ago, we co-hosted that event with the city of Prescott for the men's National Junior College Soccer Championships. So this was a review of a pending application with the college for 2017.
2017, okay.
Yes, sir.
And when might we find out information?
That information should be coming to us very soon. So that might be a wonderful announcement at our next commission meeting in November.
Well, I hope we get it. That would be great for the community.
Very much so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That said, do we need to approve the director's report?
It is available for any other additional questions. I have nothing more to add to that report, but I
Okay.
am happy to answer any questions on my section or the department's report as a whole.
I have a question. It stated that you met with town management and deputy town management in review of Fane Lake efforts. Can you state what those efforts?
That would reflect from last meeting's discussion for Fane Lake and the valve. And so from that, no additional information is available at this point in time. We're still on a holding pattern in regards to Game and Fish's engineering review.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Moving on to the chairperson's report, and seeing that this is my first meeting as stepping in, filling in as chairperson, I don't have anything prepared or otherwise. If there's any questions or concerns, I look forward to working with everybody as past chairpersons and folks, and working together with this group directly. And looking forward to moving forward into the future. So that's that. Next item is Tree Advisory Board business. Once again, chairperson, this is a new position for me, but we were awarded a tree in honor of the Arizona Community Tree Council 40th anniversary that was planted in American Legion Park, and as part of their 40th anniversary celebration. So we have that monument tree.
Correct.
Lack of a better word for that. And we'll keep an eye on that as it grows and creates more shade. Looking at the strategic planning meetings, myself, Brian, I believe Ron, and a gentleman named Dana Diller will be our new arborist. And we will be meeting in the near future to review and update the 5-year plan and analyze and apply for our Tree City USA application for this year.
Yes. And so with that, I would ask for the committee, those members that Commissioner Freer had mentioned, let's try to get our heads together, pick some dates of availability to at least begin that agenda development. And then I will put together those materials, get them out to the committee members, and do that. Mr. Diller indicated that Wednesday evenings and Friday mornings are not available to him. I know we've been fortunate enough to have some midday conversations, so if that's still available, which I would believe it would be to Mr. Diller as well, for those individuals that are working that 9-to-5 grind, we'll try to make that very flexible in doing those things. So there are some particular dates that are no-goes. If you could just forward those to me, and then we'll work to coordinate things from there. Would like to do that preferably within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. That shouldn't be an issue. Anything else regarding Tree Advisory Board business? All right, moving on. Old business, item A, facility use policy update for unmanned aircraft.
Yes, sir. During our last meeting, we had some general discussion as it related to the updating of our facility use plan. Back in July, August, state legislature had a update as it related to unmanned aircraft. In this case, drones is kind of a key buzzword that's out there. Basically, they indicated that all communities, if they did not already have a designated remote control aircraft drone area, I guess an RC airport, for lack of better terms. If we did not have that, we did have to provide and indicate an area that allowed for takeoff and landing zones. That is our responsibility as it related to unmanned aircraft. Our current facility use policy is still accurate as it relates to remote control, but we're referring to the unmanned. Already predetermined flight does not have to be within eyesight. You can pre-fly them, and off they go. That is the purpose for this. The location, as we talked about, were two. One was over in Antelope Park. It was the multi-use athletic field area. As we discussed, there were user conflicts that existed there. Our other location was Fane Park, as shown in this particular exhibit. The area of availability from staff's review is the area indicated in blue. It's about a 12-acre area. It can be refined and narrowed dramatically. Staff's indication had been that a recommendation for your consideration is an area in that location adjacent to the roadway, perhaps in that area that we're familiar with physically from the Holiday Light Tour, and that tunnel, if you will, that lighted tunnel. Would be a good area to denote, because then it's very close to that trail access corridor that we have there, and allows folks to be able to travel from the parking lot in a reasonable fashion to make that happen. But the zone would be located in that area. It would be north of the 4th Street roadway and limited in that fashion. So that would be the guidance that we're looking for as recommendation for you to be able to present to our legal department for review, and then updating of that facility use policy.
I took a look at both areas after our last meeting, and I think the staff recommendation is absolutely the way to go, just for my opinion. Putting it in Antelope Park would not be wise. It's close to the school. It eliminates the use of the playing field. This area seems to be really the place that it should go. So I think the staff recommendation for me is really a good idea.
I agree wholeheartedly too. And it's more of a natural open space area, not anything residential wise too close. And I realize Stone Ridge is just south of Fane Park, but hopefully the users wouldn't be violating anybody's personal airspace in their backyard, and keep it within that area. The only question I would have, I guess, the parking would be the main parking lot at Fane Park then?
That would be correct, yes, sir. Yep.
And there wouldn't be any future development of aircraft parking area?
No, sir.
Like we have at the event
Right.
center for the Horsey.
Not dedicated in that fashion. I think the undetermined future development of Fane Park, as we go through that process in future years, there would be that type of coordination that we could look at and consider. But at this juncture in time, no, sir.
And the other question in regards to Valley Lights, would users be able to access that area during the
They would
Valley
be able to
Lights?
do so during the daylight periods of time?
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Brian, I have a question about that location, and if you've already said this or discussed this, and I apologize, I didn't hear it, but do you have to have discussion with the commercial?
No, sir, we do
owners?
not.
Okay, thank you.
The real problem with this is the state's requiring that we put it within a park.
That is correct.
If we could put it on just a piece of land that we could come up with, that would probably be the best alternative, but it has to be within a park. And
Correct.
that means we either have to give up park facilities, or in the case of Fane, we have some open space that we can use.
Right. And we also want to be able to provide those support amenities. The correct parking area, restrooms, all of those good things, so that one has those support amenities. Otherwise, we make it more of a challenge than what it needs to be.
So based on all those criteria, it seems like this is a very good location then. So
Correct.
I would concur.
Now, is this the only location within the town limits that unmanned aircraft can be utilized? Or if, say, somebody wanted to follow a drone up while they're hiking Glassford Hill Summit Trail, they would be allowed to?
We do not have that jurisdiction.
Okay.
Yeah. Our responsibilities are being to provide a takeoff and landing zone.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Any other questions?
Okay.
Next item, update for Fence Line Park playground equipment.
Yes, very happy to report, very apologetic that I do not have photographs, but Fence Line Park has been installed and is ready for your use. That was completed last week, and so we're very happy. The staff reports back that it was a very professional install, minimal impacts, assistance that was needed. They were a very good turnkey program, so we're very happy for the assistance that was provided by Dave Bang for that program, so we're happy to go.
Very good. Excited, another area for the young ones to go out and burn up some energy outdoors.
Very much so.
Very good. Next item of old business, Bob Edwards Park construction update.
Yes, Commissioner Avalos and I were chatting a little bit prior to the meeting in regards to its development, and if you have not been by, it's easy to find. Our athletic field lighting is towering above the park in its development. Fantastic efforts by Muskow and their subcontractor there for its installation. But I have provided a photo with you, picture of the site. A lot of the grading has worked. The mainline irrigation system is in ground, ready to go. Their concrete path surrounding the park is in place. Some of the curbing in our parking lot's ready. A lot of the drainage elements are being put into place. Some asphalt will be coming down fairly soon. So we're very excited about the progress being made out there. We do have, unfortunately, several days of weather events, as we all know, has impacted the project. So we know that we will not be seeing our November 1st opening or completion date made, and there's nothing anyone else could do about that. But we're going to continue to remain on track, getting everything in place, and the progress is strongly underway, and there's a lot of physical testament to that right now. And I think you'll be seeing things happening even quicker as we continue to approach November.
And hopefully the weather will cooperate. It looks like for the next week or so, the weather should cooperate. So.
There you go. Should and will.
Very good. Any other questions regarding Bob Edwards? Okay. New business. We do have quorum. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, we do.
So at this time, since Michelle Tissot had to unfortunately leave the commission, and I was vice chairman in the past, we need to have nominations and an election for a new vice chairman. So I'd open the discussion or take any nominations at this time.
And please bear in mind that two of your commissioners that are not here with you, Ms. Elaine Fallman and Brett Polgan, they're available candidates as well in doing so. If you would prefer to delay this process until their attendance and participation, we can. This was a standing request by commission from the last meeting, but that may or may not affect things. I just wanted to be very upfront, not to just because of their absence this particular evening. They are candidates for availability, and in doing so. But if we needed to wait, we can definitely do that as well.
I think that'd be prudent, in my opinion, to wait until we have a full commission here, so people that are not present at the moment can either accept or turn down the nomination.
I would agree.
Agreed.
I concur. I think Elaine might be a little surprised if we decided we wanted to nominate her tonight and she wasn't here. So.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So do we need to have an action item to table that?
With that, we would just table it.
Okay.
And I would happily add that to next month's agenda with your approval.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Next item on new business, annual report draft review.
Yes, and my apologies. I used the term draft inaccurately here. It was a staff discussion item. Ultimately, that was garnering your feedback as it pertained to a review of last year's report and any additional elements that you wanted to have. We're going to maintain that template. and continue moving that forward, but I wanted to be assured that I did not miss any additional information that you needed from me or from staff. I do know that we've reached out to former Chair Brinkman in regards to the drafting of the letter during his term, so that will be one additional item that we'll be pulling into that. But beyond that, making sure that there's any items that are extremely important and pertinent to your discussion, the staff is providing that information on your behalf.
I like the format that we had last year. I think that was very effective, and it seems like that would be effective in carrying through for this year. Yes, I did receive the material, and I will try and get you something by the time period that was designated, which is very quickly. But I wouldn't have any problem with carrying through the same format for this year.
Okay. All right.
Are you looking for items for the report?
Any of those particular items, if you have them for tonight for discussion, let's do that. If not, if you would just please send me a note with whatever those items are, or at least tell me that I got the thumbs up, continue to move forward with as is. I would greatly appreciate that information. Staff's goal is to have then actual draft documentation for your review at the next commission meeting.
I will email you a couple thoughts
Okay.
on items, just in regards to all the work that's been done this year.
Yes, sir.
The Summit Trail and Fain Park and other events that took place.
Exactly. And again, that timeline, very important element. That will be July of 2015 through then June of 2016. So that would be that window of reflection. July of 2015 through June of 2016.
Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions regarding the annual report? Okay. Bob Edwards Park Playground update.
I'm rubbing off on you, aren't I? All right. Well, I'm very happy to report that in some of our past discussions, we indicated that we were going to financially alter our plans with the understanding that we were holding footprints for those amenities to come back in. The playground happened to be one of those, unfortunately. And that was ultimately because we had some unknown elements that we still had to work for that we did not have information back. A large component of that issue of unknown related to utility infrastructures. Those have been resolved. With that, those monies that we were holding to the side to be able to handle that have now been freed up. The number one priority was our playground. We want to get that element back into play. So tonight for your presentation, I have, I believe, 6 playground proposals for your review. For this evening, we need to recommend one of those proposals. Staff does have a proposal that we think highly fits, integrates the site, reflects public comment both in this project and past playground projects that we feel hits the mark for Bob Edwards Park. They are being presented to you in the order in which they were received. Okay?
All of these, of course, are within the monies that...
Yes, sir. They are within the budget allocation for the playground, and not all of our quotes that received met the criteria. So the ones that we are presenting to you tonight reflect meeting that criteria that we have. This is imagery of our first playground. It's from Play It Safe Playgrounds. They have provided us with 2 options. This is option 1. Please keep in mind there is not buildings in the background or the fencing or the black matting, but it is the playground elements that we do need to focus on. And you'll see that imagery throughout a variety of the different vendors. This is, again, past directive and commentary from the public in regards to traditional, non-traditional play elements for that high physical interaction. This is serving age ranges from 2 to 12, and it has a number of different slides in there. Most of them are straight. There is literally no enclosure elements of that, so that was a very important aspect of things. It is very highly energetic, very motion-oriented, lots of play, lots of swing, lots of climb, and it is an option of one presented from Play It Safe.
Just real quick, looking at that on
Yes, sir.
on my left, where the gray slide comes
Yes, sir.
down. How do they access the slide? Is that
There is a climbing ramp and web.
Okay.
It's very, very, even me looking at it from my screen right here, it's very difficult to see
Okay.
in doing that.
Is that what the kid in the red is climbing
Yes,
on?
yes. He is climbing to one of those elements, and then there's another climbing platform and another arm to transfer onto.
Well, we're trying to figure things out. What's the thing in the center? I'm still trying to...
That is kind of a free swinging climb tube. There's different elements, kind of like vertebrae, if you will. That's the best way I can describe it. But you climb from piece to piece to go through. But it is open.
And Brian, all these options include professional installation?
Yes, sir. The criteria that we had was professional installation, delivery, basically a turnkey unit, our ADA compliant engineered wood fiber safety surfacing that's there, meeting the fall height requirements based upon the submittals that they have, that it is a mix for ages, mix of components, traditional, non-traditional, we talked about, that the color schematic is open for review and consideration. Let's see here, ADA compliancies, so there's opportunities for all parties to enjoy, and utilizing the site to its fullest capacity. Okay, so that would be option one. Option two from Play It Safe is actually a combination of two separate freestanding units. This would be part A, or part A1 to this. And then here is part two. So just imagine these two units standing side by side to each other. The first A1 was your younger age group, your 2 to 5s. Your A2 component is serving your 5 to 12 age group. This would be very reminiscent of the playground structure in Mountain Valley Park.
So option one, Brian, is
Yes.
that just a combination of the age groups?
No,
as a
this
whole,
is
or-
specifically 2 to 5. This is a much smaller in height.
The first option, option one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Option one.
Yeah, is that just...
That's a
as a
total
whole?
combination, full integrated unit.
Okay.
And the neat part is you can transfer from one to another depending upon your physical abilities. So you can go boom all the way through in doing that. Option two is the two units.
Separate.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, and they would be separate. They would not be conjoined. Okay. So again, those two. All right. Your next option is coming from Exerplay. This is a one freestanding unit, and then you'll see back behind that is a wheelchair accessible spin play piece, like a little merry-go-round, if you will.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Your next option is from Triple M. They have provided two scenarios for you. This is option one. As you can see, quite a bit of platform there. And then option two. And it is a definite mix of traditional and non-traditional. Okay. You then have Dave Bang, and I apologize, this particular vendor did not provide us with any color rendering of the playground. It was just a visual from top down. It does have two swings there, and then a little two play apparatuses off to the side adjacent. So what they're representing to you is an overview of the whole site. So that outline is literally the concrete containment curbing for the safety surfacing.
What's the black circle?
The black circle is another play unit that's in there. It's a freestanding.
And there's no enclosed tubing in there?
There is on a couple of sections. Okay. And then their second option, again, same type of rendering. And you'll see that there are two separate structures.
And down in the lowest corner there, the horseshoe spur looking thing.
Correct.
What is that?
Hoopala swing is what that's saying to me.
Some kind of swings.
Yes.
Kind of hard to make a decision on those two without actually being able to see anything.
Yes, it has made it very difficult
It's a little rough.
to be able to get some of that information.
What about those dots? over
The
there?
dots, those are called little butterfly walkers.
Those things, they kind of just hop along.
Just kind of little steps in doing that. Let's see here. Unit option 2. It's called a Unity Hoopala swing. Then there is a horse funky animal with sound. It's basically a spring rocker. And then the butterfly climber, those steps as we had there. So that's the descriptions that we have there, other than the two independent units. And then on option 1, I know there were some questions there. This is indicating, wrong product. A Unity rocker as well, horse funky animal, little spring there, and then an early childhood T-swing with 2 infant seats. Those are those items. Okay. As always, what we have provided then is the comparisons. All providers, with exception of Third Degree Recreation, provided a qualified quote, as it was not available to us via a purchasing contract. All vendors, with the exception of Third Degree, came in under the project budget, which was $60,000 for turnkey product, inclusive of freight, National Playground Safety Institute certified installation, as well as then the engineered safety surfacing there. Discounts are listed. They range from $23,000 all the way down to $2,500. But they have met those objectives. Staff, in their review of all of the products, they met the requirements that we were seeking from their presentations to the department. In review of our current inventory and the simple fact that Bob Edwards Park is serving as a very active park site, and the fact that we have received a number of different community participant inputs as it related to non-traditional play, staff is recommending option 1 from Play It Safe Playgrounds and their Nucleus/Intensity Playground Unit for your consideration.
Brian, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
On some of these other playground equipment here, there's a remaining balance. Obviously went under budget. Can those monies be allocated into perhaps a swing set or anything else to add to?
If the particular playground's safety radiuses would allow for that, and then whatever that new amenity that would come in and be added to it, if it fits within that other available space, because we cannot have overlapping zones, then yes, there is that particular potential to be able to do so. That was one of the elements that we were reviewing as well, is how did they utilize that particular location, and that was one of those elements that spoke strongly to us in regards to the staff recommendation for Play It Safe's number 1 option.
Could we see that graphic again?
Yes, sir.
I liked option 2 and 3.
That is option 1.
I'm feeling that one.
One thing I like about it, I've heard comments from some of the parents. They have their kids out there, and if somehow accidentally there was a bench on the perimeter of the play area, they can sit and see the kids without
Yes.
losing track of them.
Correct.
Some of the other options where you have climbing walls can kind of obscure that, and I like that openness in this, and I like the interconnectability of it. That's, to me, it doesn't make real sense, but if you've ever been to the park, the kids attack this, and they go
Correct.
from one end to the other. It's just amazing.
Correct. And you brought up a very interesting point where we've had those parents saying, hey, if there's a bench, and I have that opportunity, and there is a bench at the particular playground location to be able to watch my kids, I can watch them all at once, versus if I have the separate units, I may have my little one over here and my big one over here. That becomes now a challenge for me to be able to do that, as well as also blocking a view shed to do those things. The other aspect of this is Bob Edwards is our most modern park. We're using the newest technologies that are out there, whether that be from our water management system to the LED sports lighting to all of these elements. This is new and traditional, or new technology, new opportunities. It is that more modern type, and it does create a new energy because we don't have a lot of this in our more traditional settings, especially for our last three playgrounds that we've put in, Tonto North, Antelope Park, and Fence Line that we just talked about that was completed. So this takes it in an entirely new and different direction, which makes it, again, creating that excitement and energy in that particular location. And that it's football, soccer, multiple ages, multiple users. It's going to be a potential off-site tournament location, all of those kinds of things. So it speaks to that energy and vibrance and newness of what Prescott Valley is.
Brian, is this painted steel, or is it some type of a plastic?
This is a powder coat system, and in speaking to that, it is a powder coat. There are HDPE plastic panels. There are the shade canopies, in this case, the fabric that is located on top, those big squares, and then also the steel platforms. The color palette is open to us as they have it presented here, so we can go through there. That would be an item that I would like your feedback on today. If you'd like us to go primary, if you would like us to look at non-traditional combinations, that the palette is open to us in being able to do that. They do have some pre-established packages. So one of staff's comments in review was that we would like to see that the main platforms that are in here, and they are a little difficult, but where those vertebrae climbers are located at, that's kind of the more traditional play center focus, the kind of center hub to all of this. That if we go down the path of if this one was selected, those platforms, you have three elements to choose from. There's a blue, a brown, and a recycled. We would like to look at either the blue or brown and then seeing what pre-scheduled color packages go with those. And then go through that selection process. But we would have to speak with the vendor through that.
And the fabric they use for those shade canopies, is that, I mean, Arizona sun is brutal on anything fabric. So
Yes.
is there warranty with it also?
There are, and this is very reminiscent to over at Mountain Valley Splash and those fabric canopies that we've had since 2007 at the splash pad, as well as then also the shade structure adjacent to the slide tower. So it's that same type of fabric, which has held up very well for us. Now, granted, we do take them down at those two particular locations. These we would leave up constantly.
What about replacement fabric? Should they tear?
Yes, and we would have to go through, just like any other component.
Plan on getting maybe a set to have on hand, even if you may not need them for.
With this particular product, we would have very little to no remaining budget for any purchase of replacement stock, if you will. So this would just have to be one of those elements after the fact. I can go through here real quick.
Well, that probably would be covered under warranty. And
There are some warranties.
look at that. That looks just about the right size for solar panels.
Yeah, right.
See, maybe a few little lights there or something. I don't know.
There you go. But yes, it would be part of that supplemental warranty. I know that this particular vendor, very exciting part about this is they have no prorated warranties as it relates to elements. As an example, they state here, let's say we have a failure of a slide in year 12. A new slide arrives with a brand new 15-year warranty for that component. So they're a very hardy program. No charge, no freight. So their philosophy is confidence and quality, commitment to service in doing that. So that was a very exciting element for us. So they do also have a supplemental warranty with free installation of warranted parts within the first 5 years. So if, let's say, that same slide happens, it arrives with a new 15-year warranty, no charge, no freight, no installation costs.
Nice.
That's within the first 5 years.
I like this option one. It looks kind of exciting, even for an old guy.
Oh, we want to see you climbing through the vertebrae there, Ron.
Yeah. Well, again, he was already doing his analysis because you know he's going to attack this.
I'm all over that. I'm all
You've
over
got
that.
the experts.
Brian, do we get to, the commission get to kind of break that in first? Just
I don't see any issue. Why not?
make sure that it's safe for the kids and
Heavens, yes.
If we do, we'll replace that car back there with an ambulance.
No doubt. I would not doubt that this particular rep would be very excited for me to come out and make sure that the footings on these would be very solid. So I think he will definitely challenge that. So, but no doubt, we're very excited about the opportunity. We feel that this particular unit's making the best utilization of the total space. We know how our budgets are sometimes challenging. We also understand, this is a very significant opportunity for us. And right now, this particular unit, turnkey, is coming with just a little bit over a $23,000 discount because it happens to be the perfect time for this vendor because they're doing a fall clearance sale.
Very nice.
So the timing has been very handy. So that's what makes it very exciting to me.
Well, as always, the staff, and I think the staff and the commission work well together, and personally, I like their suggestions and input, and I think they've made a good choice here.
I agree.
there's a lot of pros for option one, and when you stated the terms of the warranty, we all kind of looked at each other and thought, well, that right there is a major.
Yes, and I'm not downgrading any of the others because some of them come with very significant warranties as well. I think for us, it was really about that review of how is this particular site different than others? Right. We had some of that. There's differences over at Antelope. There's differences over at Fence Line, but this is entirely unique. As an opportunity that this particular budget could be able to serve this type of an opportunity. So
You're also talking about colors. So you were saying that the center section with the posts would be blue or.
what we're going to try to do is work from the platforms as the main indicator, and then see what package programs are available to work from them. So that's kind of a
Blue or
process.
brown for the platform.
Correct. Great example, Tonto North. We went with the brown platforms and the steps, and then there was a color package that we found because we wanted to go with vibrant colors there and get away from the primaries. Typically, when you go down a blue platform, you go down a primary pathway. With that particular vendor, the brown allowed for then that Fiesta wear color, if you will, with the oranges and the lime greens and the yellows and those kinds of things. So that would be what we would be looking at here is what are those color packages that are available depending upon what platform selection we may consider. in doing those things. I'm very happy if you say, hey, we really want to see this as a primary color playground. Happy to do that. We can look at the blues, the reds, the yellows, those kinds of things. If we want to look at this and say, why don't we find something between the Fiesta and the primary and find some middle ground, or go crazy, or
Be bold.
be bold. Okay. Well, I think this playground really kind of says that.
Have we received any feedback from the public in regards to colors?
The public feedback that we have, because this has been so quick, we haven't been able to do the neighborhood meetings, but we've had 3 of them. So we've taken all of that feedback, which is kind of, for the most part, been very consistent in regards to community needs and those kinds of things. Our goal with this is to get this moving very quickly, because this information came to me Wednesday evening when I was in St. Louis attending the National Park and Rec Conference. So Thursday morning, I was in the exhibit hall meeting with I spent like 6.5 hours in the exhibit hall, not only just meeting with playgrounds, but other vendors of products. But I spent a large majority of that time meeting with each one of these playground vendors, going through this project with them. They knew it was on the table when we first took the construction project out, but they knew that we had to remove it, and now I interjected it. So they had literally from Thursday morning, and depending upon who I met with last, Thursday afternoon, to turnkey this information back to us, go through their engineering review, go through all of our planned construction documents, the whole bit. I believe 2 of them actually did site visits so that they could come out and then put together their proposals and quotes. And they had to meet all of the different criteria that we had already put out there for them. This group of folks, and all of them, I mean, I'm sorry to report, and I went through that with our third degree provider, but all of them turnkeyed their responses. The only issue that we had with third degree is they could not provide us a qualified quote based off of a purchasing contract in doing that. But all of them met the rest of the criteria that we had established for them. And that was not easy for them as well, to be able to make those things happen.
One thing nice about this, too, is we as a commission don't have to consider money. I mean, everything is in that. So we can just look at the options.
You got it.
I think for me, option 1 stood out as we started through.
Yes.
I don't know how we want to proceed.
Right. Well, ultimately, I'm looking for then your recommendation that you would like me to take as a matter of council action. I will take that information for presentation at the October 27th commission meeting or council meeting. So then, therefore, we can award with a purchase order and get this thing moving as fast as we possibly can. I'm going to challenge whoever we're recommending and council approves. If at all possible, I'd like to have this installed before Thanksgiving. It may not happen, but they've accepted, I guess, my aggression with getting this information to us, and I'm gonna provide them with another challenge and opportunity here with this one. And I would really like to see it happen, because I think we're going to be right in that window of construction completion there at that site, and I would really like to have a park open with a playground on site.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really like the idea that you stated about making Bob Edwards something more unique, more special, something different than the other parks, and I think this option 1 just fits it completely. With the idea of having the age groups integrated, like we talked before with the parents that are concerned about having their younger children in one area and they're older in the other. I really don't see any other option, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with this.
Okay, so with that, would anybody like to make a motion to approve Play It Safe option number 1?
I would make a motion to approve Play It Safe option number 1 boldly.
Bold colors, noted.
And make that a recommendation from the commission to, and that's also the staff recommendation. So I would make that motion.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much. And like I mentioned before, we'll have this slated for the October 27th council meeting. So once that's in play and that's approved, we'll go through those procurement processes.
That's exciting news, Brian.
I thank you for that, because when I got the phone call Wednesday night, I go, don't be messing with me. I've got business to get done here. No, this is where we're going to go. It's like, excellent. So I was out there and they looked at me and they're, are you serious? And I said, I'm very serious. And then I told them, I need these by noon Tuesday. Are you serious? Yes, I'm very serious. So,
Very good.
yeah, this is excellent stuff. Excellent. So,
Yes.
Thank you all.
Happy to see it come together this way.
Okay, that moves us into item 10, which is other. Is there any other business that was not brought up that is not on the agenda? Okay, hearing none. Unscheduled public appearances. Our audience is thinned. And with that, our next meeting is this coming Saturday, October 15th at 1:45. We will be meeting at the Civic Center and taking our park tour on the predetermined parks. I would have to review the minutes from last meeting to remember which parks we're going to. I believe Fane and a couple others.
Yes. My apologies.
My apologies there. And then our next regular meeting will be Tuesday, November 8th, 2016 at 6:30 p.m. here in the auditorium at the Civic Center Library. With that, our next item is adjournment. If I could have a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
A second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned.